Welcome to podcast number 5 of the Brother Peel. I'm your lucky host, O'Shea Duke Jackson. You guys know how it is on Sundays. Me and my man, Dynas Demir, typically we do some type of show reaching out to the Black diaspora across the world. We've been doing this for about 2 months now. But this is a part of the actual Brother Peel podcast. So first I want to introduce myself, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Follow me at YouTube, O'Shea Duke Jackson, one page, and my second page, O'Shea Vlogcast channel. And I'll introduce my guest host, Dynas Demir. Go ahead, introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, what's good? Dynas Demir. Search for Uhuru. That's the name for my Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube channel. Search for Uhuru. So make sure you check out those pages, subscribe, follow, like, all that good stuff.
All right, cool. So this is not a new topic. Number one, we've talked about this in many different forms. Mm-hmm. Should Black Americans move to Africa? I believe this is important in discussion because you did a wonderful interview with a gentleman over in Namibia today, and we do have a collection of Blacks who are maybe interested in relocating to the continent. You've been to Africa many times. What is your take on Black Americans considering the relocation to Africa?
I think it's a great opportunity that lies in Africa. I just think the issue is, and that's why I'm doing the living and relocating, living and doing business in Africa series, is because people need to get the facts on actually relocating to Africa and how life really is, because I think it's romanticized a little bit too much. You know, a lot of Black Americans, we get excited about the motherland and we think we're just gonna go over there with $100 in a pocket and shit is gonna be okay. But I think they need to get a real perspective on how life is over there. But I mean, there's a lot of opportunities over there. And you know, this morning, me and the brother Brian Wheeler, we spoke on opportunities over there. We talked about healthcare. So if you're in healthcare, whether it be a doctor, nurse, RN, CN, psychologist or whatnot, they need that in that field. They're lacking that in countries like Namibia. And he said, hey, if that's something you want to get involved in, hit them up and just get you set up. So again, it's just opportunities over there. And I talked about being earlier today about if you were into tattoos, if you're a tattoo artist.
Right.
I mean, that is a field or industry that is very, there's really no competition. So if you're an excellent tattoo artist, you go to Africa and do great over there and clean up. So there's a lot of opportunities over there.
Okay, let's do this because you know, we have a lot of disgruntled Black Americans, right? And to be fair, I got to give you credit. Words due. You did an excellent job of clearing me of maybe some.
What's up, brother?
What up, Taylor Made? And welcome to the podcast. We got my boy Taylor Made Dreams in. He's gonna jump and join us. Go ahead and shout your channel out real quick, Taylor Made.
My channel is Taylor Made Dreams. Come and check it out. Talking a lot about Sosua, specifically down in Dominican Republic. But I'm be doing some more traveling, talking about Medellin, Colombia, and some other places. But I'll be moving to Dominican Republic full time in about 10 months. Okay. Already brought up some property over there and everything, bank accounts, everything set up. So I'm basically trying to teach brothers some options instead of dying on these streets or dying inside with these fucked up women.
All right, and both of y'all, man, Dynas, both of y'all are actually in Atlanta, man. So both of you guys are traveling Black men. So this is a great show. All of us have been out of the country. Some brothers never left the country. But I want to say this. I want to congratulate Dynas for changing a lot of my preconceived notions about Africans when I went over to Africa. I just came back from Uganda. There are a lot of African Americans who are in the chat who've had either some sort of issue with Africans in America. They have disdain. So based off of that negative interaction, well, Africans don't like us. They don't see us as we see us or we see them. I'm done with Africa. I never want to go. I don't plan on going. What do you have to say about that, Diners? Because you have a lot of brothers who have had bad experiences with Africans or African people in America, and they're totally maybe turned off about going over to Africa.
I think it's petty because, as you know, us Black people, we've had bad experiences with everybody, but we won't stop patronizing them. So you might have a bad
Say it
experience.
again. Say that again. It's very important.
Us as Black people, we have bad experiences with every demographic of people,
yes,
but we won't stop patronizing them. So we'll leverage having a bad experience with we'll say a Nigerian and use that as an excuse to not go to Africa. But Koreans, we'll go into the Korean store and they'll blatantly disrespect us, and we'll still shop there. We'll go into the Chinese store, and they'll blatantly, openly disrespect us, and we'll still shop there. Mm-hmm. We'll show up to the Dominican Day and Puerto Rican Day parade, and you got jet black Dominicans and Puerto Ricans talking about, so I ain't Black, I'm Puerto Rican, and I would never ever refer to myself as Black because I don't want to be, I don't want to be, related to you guys at all, but we'll still show up to the Dominican and Puerto Rican Day parade. So it's just a petty excuse at the end of the day. So
that's a very good point. Let me ask you this, TaylorMade, because I know this show says should Black Americans move to Africa, but I know that you have bought a property in Dominican Republic. We've done a show, me and you. Let's just talk about, because a lot of Black Dominicans that are in the Dominican Republic that do not consider themselves to be Black. I don't know if you've ever encountered that in your many times there, but have you seen this happen before?
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen it happen before. I ran across some people, man, just talking to some locals where they consider themselves Latino. And I tell them, well, because a lot of Dominicans want to come to America. I said, well, if you come to America, not only are you going to be Black, but you're going to be called the nigger. So I tell them, man, I say I'm Black and I'm proud. And I don't call myself African American. I call myself Black. And I tell them the only difference between you, the Haitians that they fighting, or the Panamanians, Americans, is a damn boat stop that a boat stop away. Some of my ancestors got off in America. Some of their ancestors got off in Brazil. Some of the other people ancestors got dropped off in Panama. So it's all a boat ride away. So to me, man, I don't get involved with all that petty bullshit, fighting one another, because I think it's absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. I really do. How we just call each other out of name and then embrace all that shit, man. I don't get involved with that, man. And I'm gonna tell you, anytime people start talking to me about it, I have to check them. I say, look, I'm Black. I'm proud to be Black. I call myself a Black man, 100%, 365, 7 days a week. I'm a Black man, and I've been born a Black man. I'm gonna die a Black man. I'm a proud Black man, and I check them in DR especially, man, because that thing with that Haitian, like I said, I don't get involved with the politics, but when they ask my opinion, I open up a can of whip ass on them and give it to them.
And you bring up a good point. Let me stop there because I have had my situation with Africans, not only in America, but I've had even African people tell me you're not really African. I've had people tell me that. One chick from South Africa says, listen, man, you are not African. You're not really a part of the diaspora. You're not. And so we do have that kind of division in between Blacks. And I have to really give a shout out to Dynast and even people like you who say, you know what, enough is enough of all of that division. Now, I do have my criticisms of Nigerians specifically, but I'm pretty sure 50% of where I come from, or you look at my features, I got at least 30 or 40% what you would consider Nigerian blood. So I'm actually genetically maybe part of them. But once we get past all of that division of us being Black, and we can stop thinking about, well, they hate us, they don't like us, they like white people more. After we get past that emotionally, and because there's a big division between Africans and African Americans to a certain degree. What opportunities are we missing Dynasty in Africa that has a skill set of African Americans that, because we do have a lot of people that got a serious skill set. What could we bring to the table over to Africa in any country, specifically that speaks English, that maybe we're not doing over here that we can bring over there?
I think number one is healthcare. I think that's important, like we discussed this morning. Pretty much anything having to do with infrastructure as far as construction. Because, pretty much the Chinese are building up Africa. So I know a lot of Black-owned construction companies, especially here in Atlanta, over Africa and do the same thing. But it's not even the whole African and African Americans don't get along. It's just for some odd reason, us as Black Americans, a lot of us just don't see opportunities in the city that we grew up in.
Stop right there. That's a great point. I want all the brothers to listen to this story because I'm gonna come back to you. We don't see opportunities in other places outside of America, but specifically, I'm glad Taylor Made Dreams is here because he has a small story about his boy Big D. Tell us about Big D and the business that he has out there in Dominican Republic, Taylor Made.
I've talked to Big D on a number of occasions, and what got Big D out there, Big D said he was in LA, he was just having this recurring dream about him sitting on the beach, doing his barbecue thing, because Big D is well known for his barbecue. And he said he went to Sosua 5 years ago and literally never left. I mean, he'd been in Sosua for 5 straight years without coming back to the States or anywhere else. And he put a nice little shop right up there on the beach. The brother sells out most days. I would say if he's open 6 days a week, 5 days, he completely sells out. And he just said he just had that dream of just doing it. And when he went to Sosua, he said he sat on the beach. He said he just knew this was the opportunity for him, and he needed to grab that chance. But there are other Black men that are also opening up shops right there on Sosua Beach. There's this place called, I think it's called El Negro Burro, like the Black Bull. Matter of fact, a cat from New York, he just opened up a shop down there, right there on the beach. And it's a Black dude opening up basically a Mexican restaurant. So, I thought that was super cool. So like I said, where other people don't see options, other Black people do. And I just think, man, it's just a matter of people opening up their mind and stop listening to all the naysayers about what they can't do and stop falling for all that bullshit about, hey, if you go over there, they're going to hate you, because for so long it was about propaganda, telling the Black Americans that the Black Africans hate you, telling the Dominicans that, hey, the Black Americans hate you, the Panamanians, man. And we just really got to get over that, man, so that we can see those options.
Let me talk about you because you're a brother that's traveled just like Dynas. You've been over to I don't know. Have you been to any African countries yet?
I've been to Egypt.
Egypt. Okay, because you're in the military for some time, right?
Yep.
Okay. And so you bought a house, because I watched that video several times. Talk about how much you paid for it. I know this is not in Africa, but just as an example, you paid for a house or apartment, right?
A condo. Actually, man, I went to I've been going back and forth to Dominican Republic for a lot of years. But I was always in Santo Domingo because my daughter was there. So I went to Sosua specifically last year for the first time. I got there on a Wednesday, and Friday I put a contract on a condo.
Okay.
Because
and how much did you pay for that condo?
I paid $56,500, and then I put about another 8 G's in there to fix it up, because it was a 1-bedroom, so I wanted to fix it up to a 2-bedroom and bring it up to date.
Okay.
Modernize it.
Did you say $5,600 or $56,000?
Thousand.
I paid $56,500, and it's in walking distance to 2 beaches.
Okay, tell me how much now, when you go back to Atlanta, how much do you rent that out for? How much money are you getting a month now since you've You say you said it stays rented. So how much money are you actually earning on that property when you're in Atlanta?
Okay, when it depends on if I'm getting short-term rentals or long-term rentals, but I would say it averages out to probably about three between 300 350 a month over a year. Like I said, some months are better, some months I could do a G. If I get like 3 or 4 short-term rentals, like 4 days, 5 days. And those short-term rentals is really making money. So if somebody rents from you for 5 days, over a good weekend, you can do easy 450. And you do that, like I said, 4 times a month, you're making a little bit more money.
Okay. And let me ask you this: have you got people to rent your stuff from YouTube?
I have not got nobody to rent from YouTube as of yet, but I've got people to rent from me on Facebook, Airbnb, and HomeAway. The people who actually try to rent from me on YouTube, all the dates they seem to pick is when the place is already booked, and I've had no problem booking. I have no problem at all keeping it booked. It stays booked.
Okay, so the reason why I'm telling you that story is because a lot of brothers are not looking at their opportunities, not even just in Africa, but just right there by you in another city where you're making money and not even there, right?
Exactly. It's paying for itself. It's like going on vacation. You stay 3-4 weeks in a spot and you don't have a hotel bill when you get ready to leave. And somebody else done paid for your electricity, water, and everything else.
Okay. Now let me come back to Dynast on this idea, because the brother was talking about Namibia, about the real estate and how high the real estate is jumping up in some of these places.
Right.
He mentioned he was from Ohio. I caught that part, and his home went down in value in the United States, but in Namibia, his property value is going up.
Right.
Let's talk about the development of Africa. What we're seeing, in a lot of these companies. My fam just is starting. He has a construction company in Lagos, Nigeria. What are we missing out as Black Americans, man, without not investing in Africa right now with all these things that are going on?
I think real estate is one area we're missing out on, because I know that's pretty much been consistent in all the countries I've traveled to in Africa, as far as people buying property and it's just appreciating like crazy after a year. I know I was riding through a certain neighborhood, I forgot the name of it, outside of the Dakar Senegal with a friend of mine. He was like, yeah, Dynast 3 years ago, they were giving away this land. Now it's super expensive. He was telling me the prices, how much it appreciated. And it was similar to Brian's story, how like it pretty much doubled after like a year. So it's just in Africa, when certain areas appreciate, and now a lot of countries in Africa are becoming more popular because you have the Chinese coming in, of course, now, as far as building Africa, the real estate is going up like crazy, appreciating like crazy. And and again, you can come in and buy something nice with $50,000, $60,000, and in a year or two, it'd be 120, 150 after a couple of years, as far as the prices appreciated. So,
okay, let's talk about this, because one brother said, "Come on, player, something for the broke niggas now." So let's go ahead and address this, because one thing that your guy mentioned, that he came to Africa. Now, keep in mind, he was married to a woman who was a citizen of that country, so it made things a lot easier. If you are a person that wants to go to Africa and you want to settle there eventually, and let's say you don't have a lot of money, what skills can you bring to the table as an American that might get you, on your feet in Dynast? Dynast still there? Oh, he left. I didn't got up and left. What I will say before we go to Taylor Made Dreams, if this is what I'll tell you, Philco versus the world, who's went to Russia. He went to Russia like 3 or 4 different times before he settled. What I noticed is, if you don't have a lot of money, and you go into a country that's, set up. If you are very good at English and editing papers and stuff like that, that's one way to get in. You know what I'm saying? From what I understand. But let me talk to Taylor Made Dreams. Okay, because the DR is so close, right? It's not Africa, but it's like, a diaspora of Africa. How can these guys, if they want to go to the DR, how can they make it out there as an American?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. Like you were saying, if you bring if you teach English, I know a lot of people down there, teaching English, doing some consulting work. But if you do anything with computers that you have a lot of skills on, as far as being a web designer, IT person, do some drop shipping, which is really taking off a lot right now. Try to find a company that may be an American-based company or even an overseas company that will pay you in euros or pay you in American dollars. It's something that you definitely gonna have to do some research, but it's being done because you got a lot of nomads living over there, and basically they feeding themselves right from their computer. So there's a lot of different ideas that you can bring to the table and make it over there. But like I said, you got to come with some ideas, and you got to come with some skills. Just because, hey, I'm born in America and I got a passport, if you ain't got no skills that you bring it over there to the table with you, or no streams of income, it's going to be hard.
Okay, cool. All right. And so, oh shit, this person is real. Hold on a second. Shout out to Dorothy Cohen. That's actually a real person. Hey, boo. But do me a favor. We're going to continue the conversation, guys. I appreciate you. What up, Marcus Muscle? Let's do this, brothers. Get the likes up. 106 people watching right now. Y'all already know how we do over here. All right, it's our Sunday show. You niggas know to like this goddamn video. I'm not playing. Get the likes up, nigga. 106 people watching, 31. Y'all niggas, come on now. What up, Gypsy? What up, Dorothy? So y'all niggas ain't liking the video. This is what you niggas ain't shit. Get these things up. All right, so listen, let me go ahead and talk back to you, because Dynus, that nigga that went to take a shit or something. I don't know what the hell wrong with him.
I was thinking the same thing.
You don't just get on the interview. That nigga got X-Lax or something. He been eating some chocolates or something. Nigga went up there. He must have had some ramen on the stove or something. Like, I don't want to let my shit burn up.
He must have had something. But another way, man, that somebody can acquire some property thinking outside the box. Let's say especially if you're young, if you're in your 30s, if you get 2 or 3 partners together, man, and you get it, and you decide to get a place for like in DR for about $60,000, get a nice 2-bedroom, man, you split that shit up 3 ways. That's 20 G's a piece that you got to come up with to actually acquire the property, and you could do this over and over again. The thing is, you have to start thinking outside the box. And if I had this mind when I was 35 years old, I would have 10 properties by now, because there's nothing wrong with partnering up with somebody, especially if you get a property, cheap. Even if you don't know how, I'm gonna tell you, when I brought my property and I put that contract down, I was like, oh shit, okay, so how I'm gonna pay for this motherfucker? So when I got back home, I started looking into my retirement account, had some cash in the bank. I took the cash out the bank, went to my retirement account, and paid for the property. I didn't have all my ducks in a row when I put that money down. But what I knew when I put that money down, I was going to make a way to find a way to pay for that property, and I did.
Okay.
So you got to think outside the box, man. It like they always say, man, it depends on how bad you really want it.
Let me ask you this, right? Because a lot of people are going to ask, maybe this question. Well, I know you went to the Dominican Republic, but why didn't you choose a country like Liberia? Why didn't you choose a country to relocate to, like Uganda, or an African country to go to live for the remainder of your years? Why did you choose the country?
All right. Well, first of all, let me say, man, I got nothing but love for my African brothers and sisters, and a big shout out to Akon, because he's doing a lot of work over there. Mm-hmm. But the reason I decided not to make Africa my home is because it's just too far. You know, I got nieces, I got nephews. I got even great nieces and great nephews. So I'm really dating myself. But I still want to be able to keep in touch with my family. I want to be able to, if I need to get back to America because something's going on, I can hop on a plane and be back in Miami in 2 hours. So that was my reason. Like I said, because I want to get out of America. But like I said, I still have family and people that I love here that I want to keep in touch with. And then it makes it easier for them to come and travel and see me as well.
Okay, cool. So Dinas, let me ask you this, because you were thinking about, because both of you guys talked about Brazil. Now, I don't know if you've been to Brazil before, right?
Me, no, I have not. I ended up not going.
But I think that you've been to Brazil, right, Taylor?
A few times.
Okay, so Dinas initially wanted to go to Brazil, ended up in Africa, and you thought about living in Brazil. So let's talk about this, because a lot of black men are so concerned with Brazil, and other places. Why are black men so focused on just Brazil, and maybe because in Brazil it's hard to do business there, from what I hear. Like, to start a business in Brazil, you have to pay like an enormous amount of money. The language is in Portuguese. Why do we have such a big black male expat community in Brazil, and not in like Ghana or not in Uganda?
It's purely the sex energy. I mean, that's what it is. It's just big Brazilian butts. That's basically the primary reason why black men tend to want to go to Brazil over anywhere else. It's all about the big Brazilian butts. You know what I mean? I mean, just to keep it simple.
Yeah, but also, man, Brazil got a little bit more to offer. And I'm gonna tell you, and I went down there for the big ass too. Don't get me wrong. But I'm gonna tell you, man, when you in Brazil, and this is the truth, and whether you with a woman for like 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 months, you always get that girlfriend experience. I mean, you could be in Brazil and a chick could come into your place, man. See, let's say you got 2 or 3 dishes, you got a couple of glasses, man. They'll walk right over to the sink, wash your shit, and you just met this chick like 15, 20 minutes ago. And it kind of blows your mind. And when they with you, man, they with you, man. So it's a different experience, man. It is a total different experience, because the women down there, man, really know how to treat their men. And is it a big sex tourist place? Yeah, of course it is. But shit, go to fucking Las Vegas. They ain't got nothing but hoes down there. So like I said, but it's just a different experience, man, than when you come over here and you being treated, with all this attitude and bullshit. And when you could travel out somewhere, man, a woman treats you like a queen, and you ain't got to spend $1,000 on her. Shit, I'll pay the money.
Well, let's talk about this, because if we're talking about Brazilian butts, right, we got to have a conversation about this ass. I was in Uganda, dude, and
I know they got ass down there.
Oh my God, my girl has one of the biggest asses you can find. If y'all seen the videos, her walking, and my girlfriend got a big, huge ass. Like, if she's in America, you will stop the goddamn car like, oh shit, dude. When I was in Uganda, dude, I never seen so much ass in my dude, it was ass everywhere. Ass everywhere. I'm talking about, it was so much ass there that even the dudes, when they walked past them, they didn't even trip. Because that's how, I was like, nigga, you don't see this ass? I was like, did y'all see that? They was walking like, nigga, I see that all the time. Dude, you have, if it's an ass thing, Uganda, you're going to find a bunch of, dude, that's all it is ass. So this is what I'm saying. If it must be more, because if you think about it, Uganda is a lot of pussy out there, a lot of big asses, hella big titties. Why don't we see more? It's cheaper than Brazil. The dollar is stronger. So that big butt thing can't be the truth, man. Is it that? And I think that's what it is. Isn't that because Brazilian have more mulatto mix, white looking women that are black, or more mixed black looking women, more to the whitest tone? Is that the truth?
I think it's that's part of it, as far as the more mulatto, exotic looking females. and then also too, I mean, when you go on the internet, do you see big booty Ugandan girls posted everywhere? I mean, it's not. People aren't really searching for big booty Ugandan girls. They're looking for big booty Dominican girls, big booty Brazilian girls. Shit, pretty much anything big booty Latin and big booty South America, as far as Brazil. That's what people are looking for. But they're not really searching for big booty Ugandan girls. And also too, you got to think about the stereotypes of Africa.
Right.
You know, talk about a lot of people. You know, when you say, "Hey, let's go to Uganda," number one, a lot of brothers gonna be like, "Where the fuck is that?" And then number two, just the whole. I mean, seriously.
Right.
And it's just the stereotypes about Africa is keeping brothers from not going there, and they much rather go to again Brazil. Because I mean, you go to a place like Cape Verde, which is off the coast of Senegal, and that's like a mini Brazil right there. So I mean, if you want that Brazilian experience, there's plenty of places you can travel to in Africa. Mm-hmm. But again, it's the stereotypes, and then also too, brothers want that mixed exotic type females when they travel. That's why they're not going to Africa. That's why they choose Brazil, Dominican Republic, Costa Rica is another one. Right. Going to spots like that.
Right.
Yeah, but I also think you got that whole travel, that whole distance when you traveling thing. Because Africa is not a hop, skip, and a jump. I mean, and I love Africa, but I mean I love Brazil. But I know when I go into Brazil, I stay up all night because I know I'm gonna be on the plane for 9.5 hours. So you also got to look at the distance it takes between getting there. If Africa was 3 or 4 hours away, you would have a hell of a lot more people going to Africa from America, especially African Americans, Black people, however you want to phrase yourself. But you would definitely have more people going there. But Africa also has to start promoting itself and telling its own story. For so long, like you were saying, when people think of Africa, they think of monkeys and trees and Tarzan in the fucking jungle and shit. But Africa has to start telling its own story to its own people if they definitely want to do that tourism as well.
Yeah, and I disagree with you on one thing as far as the flight time. Now, a flight from Atlanta to Rio de Janeiro is 9 hours. Flight from Atlanta to Lagos is about 9 hours. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of times when people use the flight time to leverage that as far as not traveling to Africa, but then they'll go to Brazil, it's like the distance is pretty much the same as far as flight times. I had this conversation with somebody else. They're like, yeah, I don't want to fly to. But then they're traveling to India and China, where the flight time is the same or even longer. So I just think a lot of people just don't research the time it takes to get from America to at the very least, the west coast of Africa. I fly direct from NYC to Dakar, Senegal, or DC to Dakar, Senegal. Like I said, that's about a 9.5 hour flight. Mm-hmm. And you watch a couple movies and take a nap, and next you know you're on the ground.
Let me welcome a Junk Power video to the brother Pill. He's non-black, but he's might as well be black over here. He's been to Kenya and different places, and actually lives there part time. What's up? What up, Junk Power?
I'm doing pretty good. How are y'all doing?
Doing pretty good, man. And once again, thank you for all the support you do on the channel as a moderator on both my channels, man. I really appreciate you. And we've had shows like this before. It's not anything new, but what do you have to say? Because Taylor said, okay, Africa, depending on where you are, it's not a hop, skip, and a jump. True, right. It's true. It's not. Depending on where you want to go. Let's say if you say I want to go to what's this one place? Johannesburg, South Africa. South Africa's way the fuck down there, right?
Right.
Okay. So what do you? I mean, when he makes this point that hey, Africa is pretty far. What do you have to say to somebody who says that?
Well, I mean, think about it this way. If you go into Brazil, you look at the flight time. I don't know how long it takes to go down there, but let's just say it's 8 hours from Miami. All right. But see, when you go to Africa, the majority of the flights that you're going to go to somewhere in Europe. So
Right.
that flight is usually going to be anywhere 14, 15 hours, depending on what country you land. And then it's usually anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, because you might go to the Middle East as well,
True.
to go from that destination to there. And you might have a layover. You might stay 8 hours in that country. But,
Yes.
if you have a direct flight on the west coast of Africa from New York, it might take you, I don't know, 10 hours?
It's like
You-
9.5 hours.
Okay, so you just have to, who cares? It's an extra 8 to 10 hours. Who cares? If you want to get to Brazil that fast, go to Brazil. But if you really want to experience the motherland, take the extra time. It's usually about a 24-hour flight with layovers. And that's usually one layover. It's really hard to say other than, to answer that question. I would just have to say that a lot of people are lazy. Just their thought process is lazy, in my opinion.
Let me do this real quick. Yeah, we have one lady getting ready to get her ass booted up out of here. She got, actually, you know what? Get that bitch out of here, because I'm tired of her always in here talking about some shit. Bitch, hold on a second. Bitch! Tired of you hoes coming over trying to run your goddamn mouth. Get up out of here. On my goddamn channel talking shit. Okay. Bitch ain't never gave one goddamn dollar. You weave-headed hoes. Okay, sorry about that. Let me do this. I had to get these bitches off my channel talking shit. Yeah, come on here talking shit, bitch. You crazy as fuck. Dusty bitch. Okay. I'm a Nigerian. Can I come into this discussion? No, I don't know who the fuck you are. Stop the show. Everybody look at Shows Gok. Look at this nigga. Goki, whatever it is. That Goki? Look at him.
Sound like a gamer.
Stop the show. Everybody look at him. Hey, dude, there's a lot of black people in this goddamn chat that's African or black. And because you're Nigerian, you can come on here? Man, if you don't sit your ass down, this is how niggas are, man. I'm Nigerian. Can I come to the chat? No, nigga. Stay your motherfucking ass right there and listen. Shit. I'm tired of you niggas. Now, let's get back to the topic, brothers. I'm sorry about that. I have to deal with these hoes and these niggas. You know how dealing with black people are.
Hey, I want to address one of the commenters, Andre. He thinks that AIDS is totally infesting Africa at such a high rate. Outside of South Africa, he's full of it, because Uganda as a country, President Museveni and his wife took on a campaign against the West, the wishes of the West, and they brought down their AIDS rate less than 7%. This was quite a few years ago, and it was just called I think it was the Just Say No campaign.
Yeah, very true.
They were the only country that did it without any Western aid, and no Western country, not even Sweden, was able to get their numbers down that low. When we had Washington, D.C. at one time, I think it was over 20 years ago, where 19% of the population they're claiming had AIDS, which was more than San Francisco and New York at the time. So, Andre, I don't know where you keep coming up with that, but to me right now, you're just like the average Joe. You watch something on TV, you believe everything you see.
Let's talk about that. I mean, interrupt you, but let's talk about that, because I'm pretty sure, TaylorMade, he's never been to Africa, but Egypt, he has been there. What we hear about going to Africa, dude, let me tell you this, and I'm gonna start back with Dynas, and we're gonna go to TaylorMade and then back to Junk Pal. When I told my mom I wanted to go to Uganda, she tried to stop me. She said, "Oh man, you're gonna go over there. They're gonna rob you. Those people practicing different religions over there. They might put voodoo on you." It's my own mom, though, but she don't mind about them black pastors stealing money out the church, fucking these bitches in the goddamn choir stand. That's okay. But dude, the most, if you tell, I remember I told my friends that were not even black. Shouts to my boy Kirtan, and some of my friends, I'm going to Uganda. My non-black friends, they were like, dude, that's so cool, man. Shout out, man, bro. They were supporting me in it. When it came to black people about going to Africa, I have more hate coming from my own family. Don't go over there. Oh, it's scary over there. Don't you do it over there. And then what's all these stigmas, bro? We got to talk about that, Dynas. A lot of people think They nothing but AIDS in Africa, nothing but poverty. Is there any truth to that? I mean, because we got to set the record straight. We have, 4 people who've been to Africa on this damn panel right now.
I mean,
I'd say no.
Look,
Yeah.
let Dynas get this one.
All right.
I'll say this, and just to circle back to the whole AIDS thing, they say Atlanta is probably worse on the planet right now when it comes to HIV, AIDS, and STDs. Like Atlanta is worse than a third world country out here. But but O'Shea, my mom was the same way. Like she still thinks I'm crazy, and it's even to the point now where she told me that I can't. She doesn't want me to take my son to Africa because she's worried. So it's just, again, people, it's just these stereotypes, man. It is to the point now, it's like, okay, with all the resources out there to actually research and find out for yourselves, either your IQ is just very low, or again, like Junk Pow said, you're just lazy and you don't want to take the initiative and really research what's really going on in Africa. Because again, I feel safer, and I was this morning when I was talking to Brother Brian in Namibia. I feel safer in the hood, what's considered a hood, in Dakar or Bamako or Nairobi, than I would here in Atlanta. Like I could walk around at night in the hood in cities in Africa and feel okay and feel safe. But I'm not walking around certain parts of Atlanta. Definitely not walking around fucking parts of Chicago and LA. I'm definitely not coming to where you're from, the Paso Heights at nighttime. Hell no.
For your flat top.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, again, people are just, the IQ is just very low, or they're just being lazy and do not want to research really the truth about Africa. But yeah, and same thing, O'Shea. My white friends, when I was going to Africa, my white friends, hey, buddy, you're going to have a great experience, man. Great experience, buddy. You're going to love it, man. Oh, yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. My black friends, why do you want to go there for? It's like, dude, are you serious? But then they'll go to China, where literally they get off the plane and Chinese people are running up to them, staring at them, wanting to touch their hair and looking at them like they're a science experience or aliens. And they'll give them a pass for that. They'll give the Chinese people a pass for that. But then when I go to Africa, it's like I'm crazy. Or they'll go to Eastern Europe, where it's to the point now where if you're a black male, you even look at a white woman in a certain type of way, the Eastern European dudes will want to whoop your ass. But then they'll look at me crazy when I want to go to Africa. So it's just our people, man. Like you said, it's either the IQ is low, or they're just being just intellectually dishonest, or they're just being real lazy and refuse to research anything. Or it could be the whole, I guess they used to say during the civil rights or segregation days, how black people used to think that the white water was colder than the black water during segregation, as far as when the water faucets come. When it comes to traveling, a lot of black people still think that Europe and Asia are more beautiful and attractive than Africa because of what they've been told, and they just taking it and run with it.
Let me talk about that, because the ignorance is real, y'all. Black people, the IQ is, for some of you niggas, is too low, like in the basement low, to the point where I have African Americans who tell you not to go to Africa. Y'all are just as dumb as a kid in the basketball gym with baseball cleats on. Y'all are. And what's even worse is, do you know how many people you guys talk out of opportunities that could go actually help themselves or help other people? Because Indian people, they know that. Let's say for example, South Africa. South Africa has the highest STD rate, HIV rate in the world. Does that stop people, the Indians, from going there?
Hell no.
In monopolizing businesses, people who got HIV got to eat. They got money still. You guys don't understand that. There's opportunities, and you guys let people talk you out of this. Let me stop the show. TaylorMade, let me ask you a question. When you decided you want to go to the Dominican Republic or just start traveling, period, did you also hear the same type of talking points?
Not when I was going to the Dominican Republic. No, I did not hear those talking points.
What about other countries?
Other countries like Turkey. You heard that because I've been to Turkey before, and I wanted to go back to Turkey a few years ago, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna get killed. This is going to happen to you. That's going to happen to you." I mean, I was even looking at even visiting Pakistan, and oh man, I ain't heard nothing but negative shit going on back then. But I got a friend who's from Pakistan, and I was gonna travel down there with him. The only reason I changed my mind about that is because I started doing some research, and it's just too much, a little bit still unrest. But like you said, man, I think that it's just too many people that's uneducated about Africa. And I think W.B. Du Bois said it best when he wrote that book, The Miseducation of the Negro. And we've been miseducated for a long time in this country.
Let me, because before we go to the junk pile, what I'll say is this: when I was coming from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, going over to Entebbe, I could literally count the amount of black people who are on that plane, and I can tell you that by far it was dominated. It was on Ethiopian Airlines. It was dominated most notably by Chinese and white people. Those are the passports I saw. I saw many people coming from Switzerland, people coming from China, people coming from other European nations. I hardly saw any black. I don't think I was. I think I was the only black American on the flight going to Entebbe. So so much so that somebody was even shocked I was there. When I told people that I'm from America, they were like, "Really? Are you sure you're not from Nigeria?" Because they don't ever see us down there that much. So it's true. What about you, JPV? Because you actually married a woman from Kenya. Did your parents try to stop you from that, or people try to? If your friends, did they try to talk you out of it?
No, not at all. Because for the simple fact that I didn't want to hear anybody say anything, and I'm not very close to my parents anyway. I just went over there on my own. So the only person that actually knew when I went over there was my boss. So I could take 3 weeks off, go over there, get married, do the honeymoon and come back. When I came back, my dad, he didn't really care much. My mother, the first thing she said when I told her I was married to an African, she said, "Oh, you married a beautiful white South African woman." And I go, "No, she's East African." And then she said, "Oh, you married a beautiful white East African." I said, "No, she's black." The first thing she said, and I knew she was going to say it, but I just had to hear her say it. I'm like one of those people, I just got to hear somebody say it, even though I know they're going to say it. They got a lot of AIDS over there, Keith, don't you? and okay, she said it, and I said, "Is that really the first thing you had to tell me?" So I'm not close. I'm not close to them. You know what I'm saying? So it was no use for me to say anything that I'm going to Africa to get married, because to me, it was for me and her. Fuck everybody else. I gained a new family. I left my old family behind.
Okay, cool. Let's do this, you guys. I know we have 151 people watching right now. I need 36 people to hit the like button on the video there, and let's do that. Let me go back to Taylor Made Dreams just real quick. While you guys are liking the video, and thank you guys for liking it. Taylor Made, just in the DR, and adjusting, because that is probably going to be the hardest part. I would think anybody trying to move to a different country. What has been your hardest part to adjusting to living in the DR?
Well, there's just the culture is really different. And being an American, America, we want everything hot. We want it now. We want it fast. And stuff like that just don't move there. I mean, there's literally no fast food restaurants, especially down in Sosúa. Now, if you go up in the city like Santiago or Santo Domingo, you can find all those fast food restaurants at the mall. But down in the area I'm at, a little beach town, there's no fast food restaurants. And also, they have a thing where they have power outages. And right. The power outages can go out from 3 to 6 hours. And they have had like water shortages, not every year, every month or anything like that. But there was different times when when flooding happened. So you got to understand that, hey, that's part of that culture. That's what's happening in that country. And you kind of just got to step back. Otherwise, man, you stay angry over nothing. So like I said, when I remember one time I was getting my hair cut, the power went out. So the guy that cuts my hair is right next to my condo. We have generator. So I told the guy, "Well, come on up to my crib and finish, and finish, shaping me up and everything like that." So that's what we did. So like I said, you just got to adjust with the culture, because the culture is not going to change because you as an American is there. It just ain't going to happen. You as an American have to adjust to the Dominican culture.
Okay, let's talk about that real quick because the power outages, the place that I had a generator. I mean, let's just be honest. A lot of black people are going to say, okay, listen, the reason why, I like going to Europe, I like going to, places like that because, hey, man, it's the infrastructure is stable. I don't have to worry about a generator. The internet is fast. The roads are not so congested. And these are good questions because, I've only been to one. What up, food, clothing, and shelter? Shout out to you, fam. That's a good question to ask, man, because I was in Uganda. I don't know about the other countries, but it was very difficult to find fast, reliable internet. The roads are definitely congested. I could not run my business like I'm doing right now with a hangout with all of you. I could not do that. We can't have a hangout there. So that would definitely stop my opportunities to do business. And if you have a situation where there's a power outage, I mean, how do you address those questions, Dynast? When you have people who are used to living a lifestyle in America that you have, lights all the time, you have electricity, you have fast internet, you have you have good roads, and then you go to Africa and they don't have those things. How do you address that?
I think it's where exactly are you going to in Africa? And then as we discussed this morning, everything you want in the West or need in the West, you could find in Africa if you have the money. So if you want fast internet, you could buy fast internet. I know sometimes when I go to Africa or in Senegal and I'm with my friends, they usually let me just tether. Of course, it's going to be slow, or they just do a hotspot off of their phone instead of having like a real fast Ethernet going. It's that set up in their house. I just use their hotspot, so of course it's going to be slow. But if you want fast internet, it's there if you want to pay for it. As far as the roads go, again, when you're in certain areas, the roads are going to be good. When you're in certain areas, the roads are going to be bad. Like, for example, you're in Atlanta. When you go to the hood, you're going to have potholes. You're going to have bad roads. But when you're in Buckhead, when you're in the city, the roads are going to be good. When you go to Marietta or Alpharetta, the roads are going to be good. But when you go to, the Swats or the Bluff, the roads might be bad. So again, it just depends on where you're at, where you're going, and what you're willing to pay for. And then if that's the excuse, like I would rather go to Europe because it's more westernized and the infrastructure is better than Africa. I'm telling you, Namibia and South Africa, I would say this, Namibia has the best infrastructure as far as any city I've ever been in. So if that's the excuse you want to use, then just go to Namibia where you could experience a great infrastructure, fast internet. You don't have to worry about power outages, which, I mean, in my opinion, just trying to throw out Africa, I mean, you've had some power outages here and there, but it isn't as bad as some people exaggerate it. Mm-hmm. But again, go to Namibia, and you can have anything you want as far as from the West in Namibia. You can experience that in Namibia.
Okay, let me go to TaylorMade because we'll go to Den Jung Pao video because TaylorMade, you live in the DR. Well, you be living in the DR, and the DR also has challenges to those things that you can get in America so easily. How does somebody overcome you wanting fast internet, you the power outages? If you're used to living a Western lifestyle but living abroad, is that difficult for some people? Was it difficult for you?
No, not at all. And like I said, it depends on where you live. If you live within the city, and not way out in the interior, then you can have a lot of different amenities that you have in the States. You know, you can have good internet. We did a interview when I was in DR a few weeks ago, and you know, my internet was good. Like I said, I got a 24-hour generator, so I don't experience the power outages if I'm home. I got, you know, well water, so, you know, on the property, so I don't experience if they ever did have a shortage. You know, if I'm out and about, a lot of the restaurants that are used to, you know, the power outages and the water shortages, you know, they have backup generators, and they have other things in place so they can keep that money going. They keep that money going through. Now, places like, you know, a mom and pop shop or something like that, they probably won't have it. And you go over there and they can't say anything because, like I said, you know, because of electricity down or whatever's going on. But the thing is, you know, you got to look at the lifestyle versus what you've given up. Like here in America, man, I mean, shit is just stressful. You know, just being a black man in America is stressful. I mean, you get stopped by the cops. You know, now you thinking, you know, if I get the wrong cop, I may not make it, you know, out of my car, and I'm just driving home. I got stopped 6 weeks ago, man, and it's crazy because I keep a gun on me when I'm in the States. And man, and I never thought about it, and you know, but seeing everything that's going on social media, man, I put my gun between my legs, and I said, as long as the cop just give me this ticket, and he don't put his hand on his gun, I won't put my hand on mine. But it's crazy. I over there in DR, if a cop stop me, I give him $10 and my ass keep driving. So, like I said, you got to look at what you're giving up, man. So, you know, power outage, I can handle that, you know, because like I said, it doesn't affect me because of my property or other little inconveniences. Like, you know, because driving in DR is just stressful, period. I try not to drive only when I got family down there or whatever, you know, so I drive my little golf cart, man. I do my thing. But what you giving up versus to what you getting and the lifestyle and the stress free and the peace, man, listen, you can have all this shit in America. Fuck it.
I feel the same way.
All right, let me, John Powell, go ahead. Let's talk about the quality of life based off what he said. How is it better in Kenya?
Well, okay, I'll just start off. The people treat you better. So the quality of life is going to start with the people themselves. And I think what a lot of people do, no matter what country they go to, when they're trying to look at the differences, they don't really look at the people and how they're being treated. They come over to another country and they start bringing their own baggage. And so all they're looking at is, okay, what's the difference between America in this category compared to the DR or Kenya? And I'm going to judge my whole experience based on that. Besides the people, I would have to say the low cost of a lot of different things. I mean, a lot of your apartments are much cheaper. Granted, it's not living in the Westlands like in Nairobi, but like I said before, me and my wife, our rent went up a little bit. We pay like $120 a month for a studio right now. And, you know, our electric bill is still $5 a month, just like it was 5 years ago. Internet, we can get that at any time, basically, through a company called Zuku. It's quality of life is pretty good, but I'd have to say the people treat you really good. Now, the transportation problem, to me, it's easier to get around in the States because the bus system, where in Nairobi, we have a lot of 14-passenger vans like you've seen in Uganda. We call those matatus in Kenya. Those can get overcrowded. But the advantage to those, they're extremely cheap compared to taking a bus in America in any given city. So. Hello?
I think O'Shea took a break.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd also have to say the quality of the food. I mean, if you want to say organic, over there, it's like pesticides is almost non-existent. It exists there, but it's almost non-existent. So people gaining weight and getting diabetes and all that, it's far less. The people who do have diabetes are usually people in Nairobi because they don't walk as far as they used to when they came from the village or a smaller town. Overall, people are healthier. They eat healthier. You know, so I have to say that's what's better than America.
Okay, cool. So I had walk out real quick. But all right, let me do this. Okay, hold on a second. Question. All right, freelance Ryan, and shout out to the super chat. And you guys like the video if you're watching right now, man. We got 158 people watching. This brother says, is it possible to get alternative electrical sources installed on your properties in DR, such as solar panels or wind? Are there any ordinances preventing that there? Just curious. That will be for Tailor Made Dreams. That question.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not know that as of now, but I'm sure that you can do it. I'm gonna tell you, man, the laws in DR are really so lax as to what you can do with your property. Like here in America, you can have a property, but if you in a HOA, man, you got to follow all these fucking rules. Your fence can't be so high, but they do respect person's property. So if it's your property, you basically do what the fuck you want with it. You ain't got to ask for no permits or all that bullshit. Like when I was getting work done, reconstructing my condo, I didn't have to go get permits. The person that was doing the work didn't have to get permits and all that. So I would, like I said, I have not came across that, but I would definitely say yes, you can, because the laws are to the landowner. They're not like all this bullshit here in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. So thank you guys. Think that he said HOA can. I won't say anything about that. But let's talk about quality of life. Dynast. I mean, is the quality of life better, there than in America, in your opinion?
I think so. Just again, it depends on which area you're living in, and then also too, it depends on, of course, how much money you have. Because I mean, if you have money, your quality of life could be great anywhere you go to.
Right.
People aren't as stressed. I would say this: people aren't as stressed in Africa as they are here in America. People are committing suicide left, right over in America. You really don't have people committing suicide in Africa. All people are much healthier in Africa. Because of course the food is cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it just really depends. Because my life, I think, is great. Quality of life is great here in America. And wherever I go, I just think you control. I guess you're pretty. The way I operate is you're in control of your life, of yourself. So wherever I go, I'm going to make sure my quality of life is great. But what makes Africa great, depending on where you're at, your dollar can definitely go a little bit further. So it really all depends. But what you're looking for, how much money you have, decide to relocate to Africa as far as your quality of life being better over there than over here. Because if you go to Africa with $100, it's just going to be tough. It might be better off for you to stay in America, where you can live with mommy or daddy or some fat shit, that will pay all your bills. So it depends. It really depends.
Okay.
Hey, can I just get in here for a second, man?
Sure.
And I definitely agree with Diane's to a point, because in America, man, black people got liberties that you don't have freedom. I remember, and I don't know if Diane's remember this, but I remember last year this rapper went to a bank right downtown Atlanta, and he wanted to pull out $250,000, $250,000.
Yeah.
He pulled out his money. He had to go show all these IDs and shit. Showed all his IDs. When he walked outside the bank, they called the fucking cops on the guy for taking his own money out the bank. Made him and his entourage sit on the ground, put them in handcuffs for taking his own money out of the fucking bank. So as far as quality of life in America, as a black man, to me, I tell people, man, it's bullshit, because this system is not built for us to have quality of life. If you look in the fucking Constitution, you will see when they talk about liberty, it says for white men. It states that all through the Constitution, white men. When they called us 3/5 of a fucking human being. So I feel like I do not have quality of life in America, and I make good money. I stay in a nice neighborhood. I drive a nice car, but that shit don't mean anything. And if anybody think no matter how much money you got, look at fucking Bill Cosby. Look at all these other motherfucking superstars. Look at Colin Kaepernick for just taking a knee, how they treat him. So it don't make a big difference how much money you got in America, man. You always gonna be considered a nigga. And that's just true. But when I'm over there, I'm gonna tell you, people ask me, what's the biggest difference when you go over to DR or when you travel that you like so much? I say, you know, when I'm over there, I don't have to consider myself black. I just consider myself a man. Now I know I'm black, and I tell people all day I'm a black man, but that's not the first thing I think about. If you walk outside your door here in America, somebody, something, or someone will remind your black ass that you black throughout that day. When I'm over there, nobody follows me in the store. When I'm over there, I'm not concerned if I get stopped by a cop. And when I'm over there, man, I don't have all those stresses just because the melanin in my skin when I'm here in America. That's why, like I said, man, I got to get the fuck out of America because I might make the newspaper if I don't.
Okay, well, Charles Tyler said the same thing, also about, in America. And I can agree to a certain extent. Definitely living, now in Poland, I can agree to that. But let's talk about that, because a lot of people think, all right, so you move to Africa, are you going to experience any form of racism from the new group? Now, let's be honest. I saw a documentary about a group of people who landed in Ghana, a lot of African Americans, and there's a good amount of African Americans, at least 3,000, that are living as expats in Ghana. These people are retired or they have a lot of money, and they have had several run-ins with people who do not consider them to be black or to be a part of them. They have even certain names that they call them to refer to them as an outside class. So, you have black people who are wanting to go to Africa, let's say, and be, accepted. But we also got to talk about the fact that when you get there, there will be maybe a good percentage of those people who are not going to consider you a part of the core group. And shout out to Dark Man Jeff. He's getting ready to be up out of here. So let me start with I'll come to because it's a junk pile video. This is specific, but I'll let you weigh in on also. But I'm going to go to Dynast. Dynast, what do you have to say about that? Because, a lot of us, if we go to Africa, we're not a part of the, the core group of people there. They're going to be a good portion of people who are going to look at us as not indigenous. You're black, but you're not one of us. So will you still experience a form of racism in some way? You're not escaping it at all.
I personally never had any issues in regards to facing, I guess, racism from indigenous Africans in Africa. If anything, I think white people, when they find out you're a Black American and you're coming back to Africa to experience your roots, they kind of gave me the side eye, like, what are you doing here? Because I think a lot of white tourists have it in their minds that, Africa is their playground as far as tourism goes. So to them, they'll kind of give you the side eye a little bit. But from indigenous Africans, I've never had at all. So
well, here's the thing. Let me cut you off, but you are visiting. When you live in Senegal, you will then be competing with some of the people. You think about it. Whoever has a business there, you're setting up a business to compete with what's already there. You will be competing for the same resources, rent, food, clothing. I mean, it's not like, you will be in competition with other people there. And let's say you start thriving, those people will, visiting someplace and then living amongst people somewhere as an expat, it's different, right? I mean, we have to be honest. What happens when Dynast is there for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Is your experience going to be the same?
I don't know. I just know the people that the people I've spoken to that have been in Senegal, and then Brian, who I had on this morning, who's in Namibia, they haven't had any issues.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like I said, last week when I did living in doing business in Africa specifically for Dakar, Senegal, RJ Mati, he said he didn't have any issues. He works fine with the local Senegalese, and he has his chain of coffee shops that he's building.
Okay.
He hasn't had any issues at all. So I don't hear any, horror stories. I mean, there might be a couple here and there, but I don't hear too many horror stories of Black Americans who have relocated to Africa and are like, what the fuck, these indigenous Africans aren't treating me well, or they're running me out, or they're shutting me out of the marketplace. They're doing fine.
All right, let me talk to Junk Palvito as an American. I mean, I don't know if do you have a business that's set up there in Kenya now, or like a storefront or anything like that, or?
No, what I've done a couple of times is I've invested in my wife to open a business, and the first two failed. One was due to a water shortage, and the other one I forgot. But the one that she has now, she used to be in the used clothing business before we got married, and what she does now is she sells new clothes instead of used clothes, and found out there's a much bigger profit, and that's what people actually want.
Okay.
So what she does, she doesn't have a storefront in Nairobi. Her and a couple of friends, they just go around Western Kenya to different places and charge more for the goods compared to what they would sell in Nairobi. In turn, that saves people in those other towns money from having to travel to and from Nairobi, not just time, but money as well. So overall, it's cheaper for them, and my wife makes a profit. So that's money that I invested in that business for her, but she also gets a great deal. She doesn't have to pay any wholesale money to the provider of her supplier until she actually makes the sale. So I gave her like upfront money, and then she also gets that deal. So we do plan on opening a storefront. We briefly talked about that in Nairobi, but she also still wants to actually do what she's doing in Western Kenya. And she just got into the pineapple business, added that to her business like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So she keeps, when there's an opportunity that sounds like there's going to be good money, she tries it, and if it works, she sticks with it.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Taylor May, because I understand, America, there's racism. Got that. But again, when you go to the Dominican Republic, you're not a native there. Any issues since you've ever been there? Because you're not considered one of them, and there has been racism with previous Dominican Republic presidents. There have been battles between them and Haiti before. What's your thought process on that?
My thought process is Dominican Republic is a little unique in that America has a lot of influence on Dominican Republic, and most Dominicans they keep thinking this whole American dream that they got sold. So my experience is a little different because people they want to be part of that American diaspora. So I have not experienced any racism. I've seen it with Dominicans and the Haitians, but I have not seen it with Dominicans and anybody and any expats. Like European expats or like American expats, Canadian expats, and everything like that. Because they know you, or they think that you got some money. So hey, they treat you totally differently. It's sort of like having that white privilege card, except now I'm in Dominican, I got that American privilege card over there. Which and like I said, which I don't try to play out. And it's there, you feel it's there, but like I said, man, the people treat you genuine, people treat you good, and that's what I got a love for it, man. Like I said, I went down to the Dominican Republic 20 years ago on vacation, and wound up adopting a child. So, I mean, I just got a lot of love for the Dominican people, man, and they.
Okay, I think He fell off there. Can you guys hear me? Hello? You guys hear me?
Hello?
Yeah.
I hear you fine, O'Shea.
Yeah, I can hear you. I think the Taylor May must have dropped off.
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
All right.
Okay. So, hold on a second. You said that I ordered some what now?
Jordan fries? Can you order?
You can have some mine.
I want your fries, man.
I forgot. You got some mine though. Hello? Yeah, man, I fucked around and ordered the fries, man. So,
You gotta order those fries, man.
yeah. Hey, call back and order some fries on my thing, baby.
So do they call them fries in Poland or something else?
Fritzky.
Fritzky.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on a
They
second.
call them chips in Kenya.
Yeah. Chips. Yeah, so, because I actually forgot to do it. But let me do this. Let's see. How long we been streaming for, man? Because I actually gotta do a BTR show for my Patreon subscribers. So I might. Let me see. Y'all like the damn video, y'all. Let me see. We have some questions in here. Let me tell you niggas something real quick. All right, before we go. Just real quick, y'all. Really appreciate the support. But so I had did a video where I was teaching dudes how to thirst on Facebook, right? I said you can email me for some lines, okay? What you niggas did, some of y'all, which people always email me or hit me up on Facebook wanting to, basically do a video camera podcast with you, or you don't hop on my shit, or you want me to call you, or you want some fucking advice. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you niggas something. Let me tell all of you niggas something right now. For all you niggas who be having on these chain emails, watch this video, do a response video to this. I'm gonna tell you what you can do. Go find a puppy. Any puppy. Pick him up, put his dick all in your throat. That's what you can do. Don't just do it once. Do it multiple times until you get the hint. All right? That goes for, all of you niggas. I'm just gonna tell you, this shit costs money. What we doing? All right, everybody on here, it shit costs money. Taylor Made Dreams was on the phone with how many dudes today? Like 9 people.
9 people.
Yeah, 9 people just called. He giving you advice. Listen, it costs money to do whatever the fuck we doing right now. All right, this shit ain't free. So we give you the information that we can give you, but when you start asking like customized shit, you want a specific mixtape for your fucking request, you niggas sending me 15,000 word emails, I'm gonna instantly get on here. I'm gonna go live and roast your ass. Seriously, and I hate to really talk about shit like this, but you niggas, what all it is. Yo, man, you be writing like 1,500 word emails. You know what I'm saying? It's people on Patreon that actually pay to support my content. They don't even do that. Like the dudes who give money, they don't ever really ask for nothing. I would do it for them, but they don't. There's always one of you niggas that like, I don't know you. I've never seen you. Can I do an interview with you? I'm gonna tell you niggas like that. This is not where it's gonna go down here. You can take that shit somewhere else. Get your goofy ass up out of here. I'm a really hard worker here on YouTube. I have my site. I try to interact with a lot of brothers, but that old cheap ass shit you niggas be doing, not a lot of y'all don't do that, but just for some of the niggas who do that, that's not going on here. I could call niggas names, like this one nigga who just emailed me not too long ago. Nigga name start with let me see here. Let's just say Ant. I won't call his last name, but just say that. Y'all gonna take that shit somewhere else. Sending me hella inbox messages on Facebook talking about you need my opinion on something, need me to call you. Go get a puppy, lift him up over your mouth, let him piss in your shit. That's what you niggas can do. I'm a real firm believer in people gonna treat you how you let them treat you. You're not gonna treat me like that, and you damn sure ain't gonna treat the rest of people like I got Dynast, his shit too. Listen, we've been all across the world for the most part. Some of us in like tailor-made dreams. He done went out and bought a house in Dominican Republic, then spent $60,000 of his own money to do some shit that he could help you get in the door with. And y'all niggas is blowing up niggas' phone middle of the night, talking to people, and not even saying, hey man, you know, thank you for your time. Here's $10 for your time. You niggas don't even do that. Then you be mad when somebody don't want to help your motherfucking ass. You think Dynasty Samir went to all these African, spent $1,000 going out in the villages, recording, put on it for free, and he supposed to just call you and talk to you for 35,000 hours? You know, talking to people in Senegal, in Namibia, how you can do business there, and giving that for free podcast. You just gonna call him? No, you niggas are fucking crazy. You know, you need your ass whooped. I'm telling you, don't, man. Listen, dude. And I hate to say this, you know, but he been making podcasts on it. You know, man, listen, what we're trying to do, man, you know, is try to help y'all and bring y'all more level game. Do not be asking me. This ain't got nothing to do with people who support my show. Don't ask me to do nothing for you that you wouldn't ask somebody white to do for you for free. Don't do that. Because all it's going to do is get your ass cussed out. You know, you ain't got to give me a damn dollar or a damn dime. I don't give a fuck if you don't give me shit. But do not ask me to spend my time doing something for you, like a fucking video that you want to request, or if you want a video done, that you get your black ass on YouTube and do it your goddamn self. Don't be asking me, and I'm pretty sure Dynasty, we ain't nobody on here do everything we do costs money. Dynasty, am I lying?
No, you're telling the truth.
Does it cost money to do this shit?
Oh yeah.
Taylor, does it cost money to do this shit?
Yeah. Traveling is expensive.
I mean, just the camera equipment, just when I travel, so I can have quality footage. I mean, this stuff is not cheap, so it costs money.
Tell them how much it costs.
This camera right here, the Sony A7R Mark II, was like $2,800.
Okay.
And then this lens right here was like $2,100. And then this prime lens that I have to get serviced, this was like $1,800. So. I mean, it's not cheap, you know. So you guys can have good quality content.
That's $7,000 right there, right?
Just about, almost about around six.
Right. So I mean, I just gotta, you know, let y'all know, you know, this is, you know, ain't nobody asking, you know, begging or trying to make people feel bad, but you know. Diane O'Shea, you own no one in here anything. Yeah, it's true. I'm just saying, you know, don't be like asking, you know, hey man, do this specific thing, do this, you ought to do that. Like that one stupid bitch I kicked out of my goddamn chat room talking about don't have him on your podcast. Bitch, you ain't gave me one fucking bitch. You don't get your ass up on my shit, hoe.
Who's him? Who are they talking about?
I think she said something about Junk Power Video because he was white. You bitch, Junk Power Video. It was sad was you and Dynasty was the reason why I even went to Africa. Hey, O'Shea, you get your yellow fever card yet? You need to do that. So I'm telling you niggas, man, y'all not that shit ain't working over here with me, dude. Y'all niggas gotta know, man. You know, brothers is trying to we you know going across the world like tailor-made dreams, giving you this game, man. If you guys call him, don't call him on no freebie shit. Drop a donation. What up, Rufus? Thank you, appreciate it. $15, man. That's my Jerry Curl fund. That's what I need, nigga. you niggas gotta understand, man. That shit. When I go to Budapest or Poland and put them blogs up and that game we give you, that shit is free for you. You watch it, but they don't be putting in no fucking special request, nigga. This ain't no goddamn juke. Even the jukebox, when you take a special request, you gotta put the quarter in, nigga. Got the game fucked up. All right, I'm done talking now. Just had to say that. What you gotta say to that, TaylorMade? Am I lying or?
No, man, you tell the truth because after my conversations this morning, man, I'm done. You know, being up, somebody waking my ass up at 8:30 in the morning, asking a fucking question, and I'm trying to sleep.
Called you at 8:30?
8:30 in the fucking morning, man.
Give me the number right now, please. I'm gonna call them live.
Nah,
give me the number. I'll call them right now, nigga. Call them live right now. Fuck them. Shit.
We already checked the situation, man. But like I said, man, that information, man, it costs. You know, when somebody want to learn how to set up a bank account overseas, you know, me going in the bank and then asking me to, you know, to use me as a reference, I don't mind. But you know, that's my time. Time, hey, man, you know, person's time is expensive.
Exactly.
I mean. And then trying to help you make sure that your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed. Hey, man, you know, something that costs some money, man, because that costs me time. And right now, man, you know, time is the one thing that you cannot get back. That's the one commodity you can't get back. So, you know, it's just showing love, man. It's showing that, hey, we appreciate what you do. Like you said, we already give you something free when we throw the vlogs up. That's free. You want customized shit? Hey, you know. Show that you care, show that you want it. You don't walk in a goddamn store because they got clothes and say, I want the motherfucker off the rack. If you ask, hey, can I get that shirt and you like it, you want to take it home, you gotta pay for it.
Right. So that's all I had to say, man. So, you know, I rarely check people about stuff like that, but I feel like I have to because, you know, I don't mind people watching free content. I will never disparage anybody for not doing something. But if you're going to ask me for some shit, you know, in person where it takes me time to actually read that and to come up with something to think about it, my time is valuable. I have, you know, this business that I'm doing, this YouTube shit. I got my Negro Manosphere blog. I got my own personal life. I have my boards I'm studying for. You know, I'm a very busy person. You know, busy person. There's just some days I don't, you know, I work, you know, 16, 18, 17 hours in the day. You know what I'm saying? So as far as you thinking I'm just, you know, you're going to be emailing me all day, nigga, no. So you need to kiss your own ass and put that puppy and let him piss in your damn mouth because I just lost the Patreon behind what I just said. So I'm glad. Hold on a second. And you know what you niggas is doing? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me just, because you know what they do, right? On Patreon? These niggas know that they will sign up for the month and then leave before the month is out. So let's see who just deleted their pledge.
Anger Man brought that up like 8 months ago.
Oh, let me see. Hold on. You niggas think you slick. Hold on a second. I just caught one just now. Who was this nigga? Let's see. Cause all I'm gonna do is block your ass. Because when you do it, I just block you. So, anyways, you gotta shout out your channels, man. Because I gotta do this show. So, anybody who's on Patreon, I ain't gonna call the nigga out. But if you're on Patreon, right? My travel blog. See, this is what I'm talking about right now. But I think Howard, he did donate on Dinah's channel, so I'll go ahead and shout his blog out. nomadicsoul101.blogspot.com. All right. So shout out to him. I did see him donate over at Dinah's channel, so I'll shout that out. Again, guys, go follow him at nomadicsoul101.blogspot.com.
Yeah, but Howard, make sure you donate to O'Shea too, because O'Shea definitely has a larger platform than me. So
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're going to be plugging your blog, make sure you definitely contribute.
No, I ain't tripping. No, you ain't got to donate, Howard. That's cool. Yeah, I know you being here sometime. I ain't tripping off that. But you know, shit, if you got some good shit, I don't mind helping you. You know, you ain't got to donate, fam. I'm just saying. So just, you know, follow him. But let's see here. Let's go ahead and so Dynas, go ahead and shout your channel out, man.
Yeah, search. First of all, thank you, O'Shea, for allowing me on the platform again, man. I really appreciate it. Dynas Demir, Google me, like ABL be saying. Google me, Dynas Demir. Uhuru is my tag, my name on search for on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Search for Uhuru is the name. And also go to dynastamir.com, go to searchforhuru.com, and also make sure you go to amazon.com, search your name, Dynastamir, buy a book. So search for Uhuru on pretty much every social media platform. Search for Uhuru, all one word.
All right, shout out to Howard Cooper. Hey man, you had to do that, but so hey, I tell you what, email me, Howard, man. I'm send some traffic over there to the blog, man. Let's go ahead and get a JPV.
Yeah, Junk Paul Video. I don't have any website, so it's just the YouTube channel at this point in time. I'd like to say thank you to Dynas with all the work that you're doing. Keep it up. Really appreciate it. And TaylorMade, I just recently found you through O'Shea. I like the content that you're producing. The information is superb. And you're welcome. And other than that, continue to support O'Shea.
All right, cool. And last but not least, man, TaylorMade. Listen, man, this brother is really doing a great job on YouTube. Love his channel. Love the information that he's giving out. Man, he's gonna be a real asset over here. Tell them where they can find you at, TaylorMade.
You can definitely find me at Taylor Made Dreams. I'm right on YouTube. But I also just recently put up a Facebook called Black Options Nomad. Black Options Nomad. So you could also find me on there, and just basically share some of your travel experience with me through that Facebook page. And that way, share some pictures, share some likes or whatever. But O'Shea, man, I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you for having me on again. Man, I can't say enough good things about you, man. I got a lot of love for you, a lot of respect for you. Dinus, Junk Power, man, thank y'all for what y'all doing, because y'all definitely educated my black ass for sure. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, you know what, Dinus, you and Dinus in the same city, man. That'd be pretty good. Y'all should both y'all be travelers, man.
There's a lot of YouTubers from ATL. Nibby Speaks is from ATL, right?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Nibby is down in Dominican Republic, ain't she?
Yeah.
Dude, she's fine too.
Follow her.
Man, she's fine too. You know she is TaylorMade?
Oh yeah, I follow her, man. I follow her.
Oh, look at it, player! Whoa, look at her. Well, don't start nothing yet. She fine, man. She good looking. Oh shit, my girl came back. Fuck. All right, look. She look all right. All right, y'all. Look, it was a great show. Thank you for everybody. For those who are on the Patreon, in about an hour, I'm going live on BTR. So I got so for those who those who like Alex. Well, Alex is in Ukraine, right? But shit, Howard Cooper. For those people who super chatted tonight, if you guys want to get the number to the Blog Talk Radio Show, I'll be on about an hour. Email me at planetoshay@gmail.com. I mean, I know who donated, so you can't sit up here and lie. So because my Blog Talk Radio is Alex. If you want to get on it, because I know you're in Ukraine, you could just email me also. But if you want to call in. But I'll have my Blog Talk Radio Show up tonight. I do that for my Patreons every Sunday. So I'm gonna go live. So if you're on Patreon, I'll put the number up, and then we'll back with a Brother Pill podcast number 6 tomorrow, which we'll be talking about the silent treatment of women, how to get over the silent treatment when she stops talking to you. All right, so that's gonna be a good one. Should be me, Angry Man, Steve the Dean Williams. Dynasty, if he ain't at the strip club again, depending on how you Dynasty strip clubs, man. Get the nigga out of there. All right, so listen, we out, man. Thanks so much.
I appreciate it. Peace.
All right, man. Appreciate you, brother.